So this is what I'm about to deal with. Not excited. So, good morning to the vlog. I'm trying my best not to slip and fall all the way into the house. I've got to squat today, but first I have to clean off my car. Hi, little baby. So I just got to my gym and I have to squat today. I'm really not excited. I've got to squat 200 for 2 sets of 3. Last week I somehow pulled off 190 for 3 sets of 4. So I know in theory I can do this, but it's still, I've never actually successfully squatted 200 pounds. I had it on my back for the first time ever almost exactly 3 months ago, and I failed miserably. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm just gonna make sure I warm up really well because my gym doesn't have heat and it's like 20 degrees outside. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fully film my warm-up, but I'm actually going to throw that in its own video because I know a lot of people have issues with squatting, hitting depth, feeling knee pain, feeling back pain, and it really comes down to not warming up correctly and practicing mobility. So I thought I would just do a whole separate video on that. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably upload it next week. Next week. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I wanted to go ahead and take you guys through how I basically work up to a top set. In this case, it was 2 top sets of 200 pounds for 3 reps. So I've never hit 200 pounds before and it went really well. So I'm super excited. I made sure to warm up really well, especially since my gym is super cold. So I ended up literally in nothing because I ended up sweating. But I went ahead and I just warmed up in a very specific way, actually. So I started doing this about 5 weeks ago when I was working up to like very high volume sets when I was doing like 170 for 5 sets of 4, 5, and 6. I had to find a way to work up to that without being fatigued by the time I got to my working sets. So this day I started off with 125 pounds and then I moved up to 145. So I took a 20-pound jump and then I moved up to 170. So my jumps get a little bit smaller as I get closer to my working sets because I'm getting heavier and I'm going to become more fatigued. And I'll also lower my rep ranges as well because this is literally just me warming up, getting my body ready, getting my hips prepared, and just getting that movement pattern down perfectly so when I get up to the heavier weight, my form doesn't break down completely. So after 170, I did 180 and I threw on my belt for that just so I could get used to the feeling of bracing with that. And this is the Inzer belt. I actually got it for Christmas and I'm really liking it so far. I'm still breaking it in, so I have some bruises, but nothing too terrible. And then I just did 190 for a speedy single. So right before I move into my working sets, I'll usually do a single. Some people do this for squats, some people do it for deadlifts. I like doing it for squats because I hate squats and I really don't like squatting. So doing singles and just making them fast makes me more confident when I get to my working sets. So then as you can see, I am doing my 2 sets of 3 with 200 and I was so happy. I actually started smiling, as you can see, smiling but also in pain for that last rep for my first set. And the second set was a lot harder, but that's just because I was fatigued and I also got into my head a little bit because I was like, wow, I'm really tired. Can I do this again? But I did. We got it done. I'm super happy. I was injured this time last year and I had to take 4 months off from squatting, so it feels good to be able to squat pain-free. And that really came down to me fixing my form, my mobility, warming up correctly, and bringing my stance in super narrow. So after I squatted, I moved on to my accessories. So on my squat days, I also either close grip or floor press for bench. So today I just did the floor press because I was already here, so I was like, why not? I just warmed up with the bar, and then I moved on to my working sets, which was just 65 pounds for 2 sets of 8. And I usually throw on my wrist wraps for this just because my wrist always hurt after squats. So it just makes sense for me to just put them on so I can get through my sets easily. It's not like it makes it easier for me. It's not taking any weight off. It's just allowing me to keep my wrist straight during the whole movement, especially with these, because they're kind of awkward when you do them, because as you can see, you're not touching your chest, you're touching the floor with your elbows, and that's your stopping point. So I actually do like these a lot more than close grip, because close grip is super hard for me, but I like these because that's usually where my sticking point is when I come straight off the chest. So they've helped a lot with my bench. And then I just moved on to my accessories. So I had accessories for lats, shoulders, and it has me programmed for lower back, but I tend not to do it just because my lower back is kind of insane. If you've seen it in pictures or videos, it's pretty developed, and you can kind of tell from my deadlift numbers. But I just did the lat pull down for 3 sets of 10, and then I did a basic dumbbell shoulder press for 3 sets of 10, and I just keep everything super slow and controlled. It just helps me feel it where I'm supposed to be feeling it. So if you're having issues, think of that muscle, touch that muscle if you can, depending on what exercise you're doing, look at it, and just focus on that, because if you're feeling it anywhere else, you're most likely doing it wrong and you could get injured. So that's just my tip for you. And then I had bench row or chest supported row. So as you can see, I'm doing the chest supported row, and I just did 5 sets of 10. I think I was using 25 pounds. So the program has me use different percentages as the weeks go on. So this day I was just using 60 to 70%. So I just went pretty light. Just finished my workout. That was amazing. I am shocked by how much I can actually lift. Who would have thought? Got a nice little pump. Literally just did back accessories, but you use like your biceps. And then I did floor press, so I kind of used a little bit of my triceps. But nice little pump. Almost looks like I lift. Wild. My lat is actually like super sore right now, so we'll see how that feels tomorrow. But yay for getting stronger.